we will go on with the topic, Ancient Chinese Philosophy. Last time, we talked about intellectual leaders in ancient China. And today, we will talk about 4 influential schools of philosophy. And first, let's discuss about its background. During the spring and autumn period and the Warring States period, there was a very special phenomenon. That is, the 100 schools of thought were philosophers and schools that flourished in ancient China. And this age was known as the Golden Age of Chinese philosophy because a wide range of thoughts and ideas were developed and discussed freely. And the thoughts and ideas have profoundly influenced lifestyles and the social consciousness up to the present day in East Asian countries. And now let's look at these 4 influential schools. What were they? First one, that was Taoism. This is Confucius. And the second one was Confucianism. And next one was Maoism. Next, yes, that was legalism. So now let's learn them one by one. First one was Taoism. What is Taoism? Taoism, also we call it Taoism. It emphasizes living in harmony with Tao. So what is Tao? Tao, literally, it means the way. What is the way? Now let's go on. It denotes the principle, that is the source, pattern, and substance of everything that exists. Remember here, that's about everything. And Taoism denotes the principle. The way means the principle of everything that exists. And in general, Taoism tends to emphasize Wu Wei. What is Wu Wei? Wu Wei, Chinese meaning, that is, and English, action without mention. Also, Taoism tends to emphasize naturalness, simplicity, spontaneity, and the 3 treasures. What are the 3 treasures? First, Jing. What is Jing? The essence of the physical body. And then Qi, that is energy. Shen, that is spirit. In Chinese, the 3 treasures are Jing, Qi, Shen. Okay. In the process of more than 5,000 years of our glorious civilization, China gradually formed the traditional values with unity between heaven and man as the core. And it systematically expands the relationship between man and nature. So now let's go on with this. Laozi of Taoist school urged. So what did they urge? They urged man follows earth. Earth follows heaven. Heaven follows the way. The way follows the nature. Okay, in Chinese, 人法地，地法天，天法道，道法自然。天人合一。Okay, now let's go on. Now let's enjoy some famous sentences in Taoism. That is, 道生一，一生二，二生三，三生万物，万物负阴而抱阳。I guess these sentences are the most famous sentences in Taoism. Okay, maybe many people know that. And now let's look at English translation. That is, Tao produced one, one produced two, and two produced three, and three produced not four, produced all things. And all things leave behind them the obscurity and go forward to do what? To embrace the brightness. 褒扬. Okay. Have you found that there is one sentence omitted? That is 充气以为和. Okay, now let's go on. Now let's enjoy some artworks. Okay, the beautiful calligraphy is about famous sentences in Taoism. That is, 道可道，非常道，名可名，非常名. Okay, now let's go on. Look at the last sentence. That is, 玄之又玄，众妙之门. Very beautiful artwork. And then now let's look at Confucianism. Confucianism emphasizes personal and governmental morality. Remember here, it's not about the person, but also about government. Okay? Correctness of social relationships, justice, and sincerity. So Confucianism emphasizes four words: morality, correctness, justice, and sincerity. Also, they are the behavior standards in our days. Okay? It helped many people learn about nature, the world, and the human behavior. And Confucianism helped the government and the emperor. Remember here, it's very useful for government and the emperor, not only for the ordinary people, how to rule his kingdom successfully. And Confucianism was particularly popular and strong during the Han Dynasty. And the Han Dynasty adopted Confucianism as one of the official forces. Okay? And at that time, there was a very famous and great Confucianist that was Dong Zhongshu. Yes. Okay? Now let's look at the theory of Wu Xing. So first, what is the theory of Wu Xing? The theory of Wu Xing is a systematic view of ancient Chinese philosophy, widely used in traditional medicine, Kanyu, numerology, physiography, and divination. And so what is the theory of Wu Xing? The theory of Wu Xing is also called the 5 elements. So question, what are 5 elements? What are they? Yes, they are 金木水火土. 金 is not gold, it's metal. And then wood, water, fire, and earth. The original sentences are listed as follows in the book of historical documents in the Great Plan chapter. Okay? 五行，一曰水，二曰火，三曰木，四曰金，五曰土. Now let's look at the translation. First of the 5 elements. Okay? The first is water, fire, wood, metal, earth. And the nature of water is to soak and descend. That is 润下. Of fire is to blaze and ascend. Fire means the heat. 炎上. And of wood, to be crooked and straight. That means the wood or the plant could be cooked, and it can also be straight. And metal can be used to yield and to change. That means metal can be used and the form can be changed. While the earth is seen in seed sowing and gathering. That is 架设. And among all of these 5 elements, there are inter-promotion and inter-inhibition relationships. So what are they? Let's look at these 2 pictures. Look at the circle. That is 相生, inter-promotion. And look at the inside. That is inter-inhibition, 相克. Now let's look at the next page, and I will explain them in details. So, inter-promotion and inter-inhibition. First, what is inter-promotion? Inter-promotion refers to the relationship between 2 kinds of things with different properties that help and promote each other. For example, wood promotes fire. Fire promotes earth. Earth promotes metal. Metal promotes water. Water promotes wood. In Chinese, that is 木生火，火生土，土生金，金生水，水生木。Okay, now let's look at the other relationship. That is inter-inhibition. What is inter-inhibition? That means the relationship between 2 kinds of things with different attributes that mutually restricted. Okay? That is, wood inhibits earth. 木克土. Earth inhibits water. 土克水. Water inhibits fire. 水克火. Fire inhibits metal. 火克金. Metal inhibits wood. 金克木. That is the Chinese. Okay, now let's go on. The theory of Wushen has always been widely used in Chinese medicine. Okay, now let's look at these 2 pictures, and we find the theory of Wushen is really popular and useful in Chinese medicine. Look at here. Okay, go on, let's look at the next map. From this map, we are sure that the 5 elements are popularly used in our Chinese medicine. And also from this, we know what we should do in different seasons. For example, here, this is spring and then summer, autumn, and winter. Here is a video clip introducing Wuxing in our traditional culture. Okay, now let's enjoy.
五行对五色啊，这是一个文化传统啊。比如我们北京啊有一个中山公园，中山公园呢原来是这个明清2代的皇宫的社稷坛，社稷坛上就有五色图。这个五色图呢，就是根据各个方位铺设的这个带有颜色的图，它的正中间是黄色，代表我们的正宗的华夏民族的黄土地的情感。然后4个方位按照这个青龙白虎朱雀玄武的这个设计，把这个社稷坛的五色土的这个位置做出来。我们有机会来到北京旅游啊，去中山公园去看一看社稷坛，是一个很有意思的事。
Okay, the third school we'd like to introduce is Moism. Moism was an ancient Chinese philosophy of logic, rational thought, and science developed by Mozi. And we find Moism was very different from other schools. Why? Because this branch of philosophy focused on logic, rational thought and science. It was similar with the Western philosophy, because later we will learn that Western philosophy focused more attention on logic, the rational thought, and the science. Okay, and Moism evolved at about the same time as Confucianism, Taoism, and legalism. So just now we said 4 schools. Okay, and it was one of the 4 main philosophical schools from about 770 to 221 BC. Okay, and Moism was seen as a major rival to the Confucianism. That means Moism was a big contrast to Confucianism. Although its influence endured, Moism all but disappeared, and as an independent school of thought. Okay, so the last one we'd like to introduce is legalism. Legalism emphasizes the realistic consolidation of the wealth and the power. It's not abstract, it's realistic, okay, of autocrat and the state, and the goal of 法家ruler was conquest and the unification of all under heaven. So it was very useful for one dynasty, that is Qing dynasty, eschewing ethics in favor of strategy. Legalism advocated the ruler techniques. 术, what is 术? 术 in Chinese, that is this word. To survive in a competitive world through administrative reform. And legalism was adopted by the Qing dynasty as its official philosophy. But from this page, we know legalism was really strict, and it partially led to the Qing dynasty short-lived. And legalism remained influential until the emperors of Han Dynasty adopted Taoism and Confucianism as their official doctrine. Okay? We can find Taoism and Confucianism became 2 determining forces of Chinese thought in the following hundreds of years. Let's draw some conclusion. Despite numerous differences, the various schools of Chinese philosophy have shared a common general cultural context. And it formed a nation with basic faiths. What are the basic faiths? Benevolence, righteousness, principle, wisdom, and honesty. So that is why our nation is a great nation. That's all for our lecture today. See you next time. Thank you very much.